We're so thrilled to introduce debut novelist Jenna Miller to the Book Cougars community. Jenna writes young adult books about fat, queer, nerdy girls who deserve to be seen and have their voices heard. Out of Character has been described as Dumpling meets Geekerella. Welcome, Jenna.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Jenna, congratulations on your debut novel. I really loved it. Can you give the listeners just a little, kind of like your elevator pitch? What's this novel about?
Yeah, of course.
Okay.
All right.
So
can you try again? Just do the description one more time. Thanks, Jenna.
I feel like you're hazing me. Just like freeze ourselves. Let her. No. Third time's the charm. I'm going to go in again. So Out of Character is about a high school senior named Cass who has an online role-playing addiction, and no one in her personal life knows about it. So she's juggling that on top of her grades not being great because of it, and she's dealing with some family issues. It's not really a spoiler, it's in the intro of the book, but she has to deal with her mom leaving her and her dad early on in the book. So that's going on. And then she has a girlfriend in her life who kind of enters the picture then too. So not a great time to start dating someone else, but you know, it is what it is. It's high school, it's messy, you can't control it. So she's just kind of juggling all these things at once. And then throughout that, she's also getting closer to her friends online and eventually meets her best friend in person, and things get a little complicated. So.
And I love how you describe Cass as an out queer girl who doesn't hate her body.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, how refreshing is that?
Right. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And with that, I mean, when I was young, that was not the case. I mean, part of it's, you know, the world we lived in the 90s and 2000s versus now. But I mean, I wasn't really comfortable with myself until I was probably early 30s, which isn't really that long ago. Now I'm in my mid 30s. So it's still fairly new to me that, you know, I'm not dieting, I'm not hating myself, or, you know, any of those things that a lot of kids still deal with today. And I just wanted a story where those are parts of her, but they're really the least interesting things about her. They're just part of who she is. You know, let's talk about tater tot hot dish. Let's talk about my cat. Who cares? You know, like who I'm dating or what I weigh. Like, let's talk about the stuff that matters. So
yeah. So let's talk about tater tot hot dish. It plays a very important role in the story. I could totally relate to Cass, how, you know, she's going to have her girlfriend over and judge her based on how she reacts to one of her favorite meals.
Yep.
So can you tell people what tater tot hot dish is?
Yes. So, and I think you both have a recipe card, right? So that's part of the pre-order campaign. I don't have one in front of me, but it's online if anyone wants to find it. But yeah, so tater tot hot dish was something that when my parents got divorced, my dad needed, like, he needed help. He didn't, you know, he made boxed macaroni and stuff, but he wanted like actual recipes, which in the Midwest means casserole and hot dish, however you want to say it. I don't really have a preference, but ask people in the Midwest, they'll have beef about hot dish and casserole language. But I don't care. But yeah, so tater tot hot dish was one of those recipes that a friend of his gave him to make for us. And it's very basic. It's very Minnesotan. It's basically beef, corn or cream style corn, 2 types of cream soup. So I think it's like cream of celery and cream of chicken soup. I'm blanking on what else. Salt and pepper to taste, because, you know, we have to have our spices in the Midwest. Right. Yeah. So it's a very basic recipe. You bake it for an hour. It's delightful. And Cass takes it very seriously. There's a wrong way to make it, and everyone is basically going to hell if they make it the wrong way, in her opinion. Again, I don't feel that strongly. I make it the way my dad makes it, but I don't care. So I had to make her a little ridiculous in that way. So yeah.
Well, we're Midwest bonding here because I'm from Illinois originally. Emily's from Ohio originally. Okay. So lots of Midwest action going on here. And,
so are you casserole or hot dish people then?
Casserole.
Okay. We'll come to Minnesota. We'll have a conversation.